Hello, gentlemen. Today we're going to continue our look at different ways in which you can earn money and how you would be paid for certain things that you do. And we're going to look today at what's called commission, piecework, and royalties. All of these are different ways in which we are earning money from things that you've done. Okay? And we're going to talk first about commission. And commission is simply a percentage that you would get for selling goods. So to calculate percent, it's just a percent of the goods sold, the amount of the goods sold. So if you were getting 10% and you sold $100, then you would get $10, for example. Okay? So you can use that simple formula to be able to find the percentages. Now, the only time you have to be careful is you have to be careful if there are any restrictions on this amount. So let's just look at a straight commission example. Say Zoe sold a house for $650,000. Find the commission for the sale if her commission rate was 120%. Okay? So first thing we'll do is look at what we're asking. So what are we looking for? That's the amount of commission that she's earning. Right? Always look at first at what you're working for. So to do that, we simply take the percent times the sale amount. Because she's going to get a percent of, so of means multiply, of course. So in this case, she earns 1.25%, right? And that's of the $650,000 sale price. Then it's just a matter of substitute. So commission equals 1.25% times $650,000. You don't have to write all of that, but I'm just making sure that you understand which pieces we're using. And finally, solve. Here, we're just going to multiply that number times that number, which gives us a commission amount of $8,125. And of course, we want our answer in words. So the commission earned, because that's what the value we were looking for, is $8,125. Always answer in a complete sentence. All right? So again, you're just finding a percent of a number. So nothing too complicated there. However, you may not earn commission on the entire price of items sold. You may just get a straight salary or something for some of it, and then you get commission after you've sold more. So let's look at an example of that. So for example, an electrical goods salesman is paid $570.50 per week. So we're just writing down the information we know, plus 4% commission. I'm going to abbreviate a little bit, on sales over $5,000 per week. Okay, so not on the initial $5,000, but anything over the $5,000. Find his earnings in a week in which his sales amounted to $68. So how much would he earn for the week if he had sales of $6,800? So we know that he's already going to make a certain amount. So here's what we're looking for. What is the amount he earned in those things? So the first thing we want to do is think about a formula for the commission. And that's simply commission is equal to the percent times the amount of sales. Well, in this case, the percentage he gets is 4%. But he doesn't get commission based on the entire $6,800. He gets the commission based on $6,800 minus the $5,000 base. So 6,800 minus that means that he's only earning commission on the 1,800 above the original 5,000. So you have to subtract that base out. Second, so we substituted that and did the math. Now, solving that, 4% of that value. But remember that he also got his weekly pay, so his weekly plus his commission is going to equal his total pay. And his weekly amount is $570.50 plus the $1,800. I'm sorry, not $1,800. He didn't earn that much. The commission he earned on $18,000, which we found by simply multiplying those together. And if you add those together, he earned $642.50 for that week. And again, you'd write that in a full sentence. So your full sentence would be, his earnings were, right? So his earnings were, sorry, a little messy down there, but I want to get it all on one page. Okay? So pay attention to see if there's any additional amounts that they're adding, or if there are restrictions on the commission that a particular person would get. Right? So in this case, only over the $5,000. The next one we're going to talk about is something called piecework. Now, the word says it all. You're going to be paid by the pieces that you produce. Okay? Now, so no matter how many units you get, you're going to get paid the same amount per unit. So for piecework, the formula is piecework equals the number of units times the amount per unit. And this may seem like great because you're getting paid for exactly what you've done, but you'd rarely get higher pay because at some point you can only make so much, right? You can only produce so many sweaters per week, for example. And you also tend not to get, this is not permanent work, this is just being paid for these number of pieces, and you may not have the demand for them. So let's look. So there's some real disadvantages here. So let's look at one. Noah is a tiler, and he charges $47 per square meter to lay tiles. How much will he earn for laying tiles in a room with an area of 14 square meters? Okay, so first of all, let's write down what we know. It's $47 per square meter to lay tiles, and he's going to lay 14 square meters. All right, so our piecework formula, substituting into that, our amount that we're going to earn for piecework is the number of units, so in this case 14, times the amount that he makes per unit, which in this case is 47, which gives us that his piecework amount is $658. So Noah earns $658. Okay? So very simple calculation. It's almost the same as doing it per hour, but you're getting paid per unit in this case. All right? Now, and the last one we're going to look at is something called royalties. Now with royalties, you're not getting paid for a specific item you produce, you're getting paid for the use of your intellectual property. So say, for example, you wrote a book or you wrote a song. Well, every time someone buys that book, or every time someone plays that song or buys the song, then you get paid a small amount of money. Okay? Now, which means that if your book is really popular, you're going to earn a lot of money, but if it's not very popular, then you're going to earn very little or nothing. Okay? So royalties are simply a percentage of the amount sold. Okay? All right. So a lot like a commission. It's basically the same as a commission. All right, so here we go. If we have the royalties, so let's say we get 12% royalty fees. And we want to find the royalties if you sold 2,480 books at $67.50 each. Remember that royalty is the percent times the total amount sold. So before I can do anything else, what I want to do is I want to just multiply those two together to be able to get the total amount sold. So let's just do that. It's 2,480 books times $67.50. So that's going to give us $167,400 is the amount sold. And of that, our author is going to get 12% of that. So multiplying by 0.12, which is 12%, we get $20,088. So the author earns $20,088 in royalties. So much like a commission, but in this case, because it's by each piece, we had to find out the total amount of money sold, the total dollar amount of items sold, and then we could take a percentage of that value. Okay? So again, simple to calculate, but you need to pay close attention to know to which one is which. So make sure that you're paying close attention to which one that they're looking for. But the calculations are quite simple for them. All right? Now, for exercises, you've got your exercises that you need to do. So you're going to be finding some commissions and some royalties and some piecework amounts. Your homework is there for you. Now, next week, we'll be actually meeting online together, so we'll be able to go through some of these together and look at each individual one. So I'm going to be calling on you. So remember, when I give you that introduction to the course, normally what will happen is I'll be calling on people to help me out with these. So we'll see you next week. Thanks. Have a great weekend.